What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and once again, I'm here to talk about Warhammer 40k. Today we're going to dive into something a little bit different than what we're normally doing. Today I want to see who is the best chapter of Space Marines to dive into that isn't in the big Space Marine Codex. So I'm talking about the Space Wolves, the Blood Angels, and the Dark Angels. Now I'm also leaving aside the Grey Knights and the Death Watch because I feel like those are two specific factions of Space Marines. One obviously being anti-chaos and the other one being anti-Xenos. So the reason why I wanted to do this is because when I first jumped into looking at what Space Marine chapter I wanted to play, I knew that I wanted one that was going to be different than just like your vanilla Marines. Something that actually has flavor and style to it. And I felt like, yes, the ones in the core rulebook like Salamanders, White Scars, those are pretty cool to play with. However, I wanted something that wasn't bogged down by everything else. So in the other three factions, you get a lot more bang for your buck, more lore, more special rules, and that's what I wanted. Because when you look at like the Salamanders and the White Scars, their named characters aren't really all that. There's not a lot of them either. However, when you look at the Dark Angels, you have Cypher, you've got what's that guy's name? Lazarus, or I don't even know what his name is, but he's in there too. The Blood Angels, you've got a ton: Mephiston, the Sanguinary, Dante, Astaroth. And then the Space Wolves, you got a bunch too: Grimnar, Blackmane. The list goes on and on. Murderfang. So it's really cool because you can dive more into each of these factions and see like, hey, this one's way different. Like, it could almost be something else entirely. And the thing is that when you look at the Dark Angels, they're kind of like these chivalrous knights who are shrouded in mystery. They go on hunts against their own battle brothers who have gone traitor. They also tend to specialize in different wings. So if you really like Terminators, you've got the Death Wing. If you like fast bikes and speeders, you've got the what's it called? Raven Wing, I believe, something like that. So you have different specialties to choose within the Dark Angels. Not just that, but you also have kind of a leniency towards using plasma weaponry. So that's also pretty cool. Now when you mix all these three flavors together, you get a pretty strong, well-rounded army that you could really take advantage of in many types of games. Say you need to take table quarters in a game of 9th edition, go ahead and use the Raven Wing, or make a drop assault with your Terminators. There's a lot you can do with this army. However, this one I'm gonna say is probably the weakest of the three, the next best one being the Blood Angels. When it comes to the Blood Angels, these guys are all about getting in close combat with the enemy. They have a Primarch who has fallen, and since its death, they're kind of trying to one-up themselves, try to better themselves. However, the Red Thirst and the Black Rage is holding them back tremendously. So, in terms of lore, that can be your push that your army is using to try to become the best that they can be. Now, they also have a lot of special abilities going with them, such as having dreadnoughts that are psychers. That is what drew me to the Blood Angels, and that's a pretty interesting tactic or way of using dreadnoughts, because you could give them the psychic power Wings of Sanguinius, and now you have a dreadnought that can fly and move 12 inches. That is pretty insane. One unit that is specifically only found in the Blood Angels is that of the Sanguinary Guard. Now the Sanguinary Guard are really, really good in 9th edition, with the whole having more wounds and with the power swords going up in strength, these guys are a force to be reckoned with. They have jump packs, they've got an assortment of weaponry to jump into combat with, and the best thing about it is that they have nipples on their armor. Who else has that? Nobody. And that's why these guys are so badass. But yeah, these guys are all about getting into close combat. However, the next one is also all about close combat, but I think they have more tools in their toolbox to make you come out on top. And that is everybody's favorite furries, the Space Wolves. Unlike the blood-loving sanguinary forces of the Blood Angels, the Space Wolves have a nice Viking feel to them, and they love naming everything wolf this, wolf that. I mean, they ride on wolves, thunder wolves for that matter. They have frost weaponry, which is essentially guns that Mr. Freeze would use from Batman. And not just that, but they even have a cursed, I wouldn't say founding, but like a cursed section of their forces that have become wolfen, aka werewolves. This even has happened to a freaking dreadnought. So a fallen warrior interred in the sarcophagus of a dreadnought can actually turn into a wolfen, and that has made him quite a beast, literally, in close combat. But like I was saying in the beginning of the video, there are tons of named characters, and most of these characters come with their own auras to buff the rest of your army. So you've got like Harold Deathwolf, Arjak Rockfist, Ragnar Blackmane, like the list goes on and on and on. And all these are really powerful heroes that you could use when writing narrative campaigns, or you can create your own heroes and undergo like the 9th edition Crusades to have an awesome leader to lead your pack of hunters. So at the end of the day, which army do you go ahead and play in 9th edition? That one I would say is probably best to go with Space Wolves, followed by Blood Angels, and then Dark Angels. However, these codices for each one of these factions released very, very recently. So, with 9th edition being so new, and with COVID being around, there haven't really been that many tournaments, and you haven't really seen what these armies are fully capable just yet. However, you know they're going to be good because they're Space Marines. GW is going to give them the best of the best in terms of rules, FAQ, units, whatever you want, you're going to get it. So, I think you're pretty much safe playing any Space Marine chapter for that matter. But if it's one that's not in the major Space Marine rulebook, I'd say go ahead and get your hands on the Space Wolves, because again, you've got more options, more heroes to choose from, and if you really want a twist on the classic Marine playstyle, you can't go wrong with these Viking furry Marines. So let me know what you guys think is the best Space Marine chapter. Obviously it's the Salamanders. Those were the best of the 9th edition that we've seen so far. And in 8th edition, it was easily the Iron Hands, which of course were found in the core rulebook. But now that you've kind of broadened your horizons and seen what 9th edition really has to offer, are you going to be sticking with the Salamanders, or would you go with one of these three supplemental forces? Again, let me know your comments down below, and I'd like to see who comes out on top. So, that's all I got for today, guys, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. This is the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys then. Peace.